Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of rawradianthealth.com, and I'm Natasha St. Michael, and thank you so much for joining me. So today's Thursday, and today I'm going to actually talk about snoring, because the other day I did a video about grinding teeth while someone sleeps, and what are some of the dietary or lifestyle adjustments someone can make to stop grinding their teeth at night. And since then I received quite a few emails asking me if I have any suggestions for snoring and how to stop snoring, because that too, between grinding one's teeth and snoring at night, it can be really disruptive, not only for your own sleep and for your own mouth and sinuses and having a good night's sleep, but also for someone that's like sleeping next to you or sleeping in the room next to you or even sleeping in the same house. I had a friend of mine years ago when we were in Australia, and I mean, the poor guy, like, he snored. It was so bad. Like, where we were staying, he could be like 4 rooms away from me, and I can feel like the room shaking as he's snoring. It was that bad. And he was well aware that he had this issue with the snoring, and everywhere he went, he would always have to sleep like on the couch somewhere because people couldn't handle his snoring. It was that bad. And you know, for some cases, like, it's more of a structural problem with the sinuses and perhaps how people are breathing, things like that are causing the snoring. But for a lot of people, it actually has to do with their diet, it has to do with their lifestyle, it has to do with the environment that they're sleeping in, and also with their own health. So the main thing is that, you know, when people are snoring and stuff, a lot of times it has to do with having congested sinuses. So the first thing you want to do is make sure that you're not eating foods that are making you congested. The 2 main foods that contribute to snoring would be dairy products and also wheat gluten. Okay, those are 2 biggest mucus forming foods, and especially if you have an allergy or sensitivity to these foods. So if you have a really big issue with snoring, do an experiment and see what happens when you take out dairy products out of your diet, when you take out wheat gluten products, and see for, you know, a couple of weeks or even a month or 2, if it actually makes a difference. You can also take out soy products as well, because those 2 are allergenic and mucus forming, and you can even try too, if nothing else works, even taking out corn products as well. These foods are known to be the most allergenic foods. Sometimes too, if someone's let's say on a raw vegan diet where they're not even eating any of these foods to begin with and they're still having issues with snoring, they can take out or at least decrease the nuts and seeds in their diet. Sometimes that can contribute to it. I know for myself, I do fine with most nut butters except for tahini, which is one of my favorites. And I noticed last winter I was having some serious sinus issues, really migraine headaches and waking up with headaches, going to sleep with headaches. My head was just constantly pounding. And at that time I was eating tahini almost every single day. And I finally was, trying to figure out what's wrong, why am I having this issue? And I finally was able to pinpoint the tahini, take it out of the diet, and within just a few days, my whole nasal passage just opened up, and I no longer had headaches or any sinus issues for the rest of the winter. And nowadays, I do have tahini once in a while, and as long as I don't have it on a regular basis, I'm fine. So, and I've noticed I actually have the same reaction if I eat sesame seeds. So there's something for me, I have some sort of allergic reaction with sesame seeds or a sensitivity to it. So, I gotta just watch it. So for me, I know that contributes to me snoring and me having some serious sinus issues. So it's good to do experiments and see. And what I suggest for people that are trying to figure out what are those things that are triggering things off, what are those things that are causing the issue, keep a food journal. If you're having some sort of issue with the snoring or with your sinuses, keep a journal, and every day, on a scale of 0 to 10, write down where the sinus problem is at. Is it a 0? Is it a 5? Is it the worst? Is it at 10? And over time, when you're tracking it, you'll see that certain days where you have no sinus issues, you're eating certain foods, and then other days where it really flares up, you'll be able to pinpoint where is it coming from the foods that you're eating that day or the day before. So that's one way of kind of seeing, how your diet and making adjustments to your diet can actually help the situation. Now, it's not only the diet, and it's not only, the food you're eating, but it's also where you're sleeping, okay? Because a lot of times it might actually have to do with an environmental allergy. It could be a food allergy, it could be an environmental one, and it could be an allergy even to the things that you're sleeping on, like some people have an allergy to feathers or to dust. So, maybe your pillow could be causing the problem. You never know. I know that for myself, I've got a lot of environmental allergies. I'm really, really sensitive that things like dust, things like that really affect me. That even vacuuming, making sure to constantly be vacuuming like the mattress and around the mattress and the pillow, everything, that helps a lot. Also, too, in the winter time, it gets dry, especially if people are in northern hemisphere where they actually have to have indoor heating, things like that. Then air in the homes gets really dry, and that's another cause for snoring. So if in the winter time or in the fall when the temperature drops and you start heating your home, crack your window open in your bedroom to let some air in, and also just allow some moisture in the home. Another thing too, you can invest in like a cold air humidifier. Don't get a hot air one, but get a cold air one. And with that, it just releases some water into the atmosphere, which helps. So you can also even put like ceramic bowls around the home, near anywhere where you have a heating unit. Have a ceramic bowl filled with water, and the heating unit, if it's next to it, not on it, but next to it, what will happen is that the warm air coming out of the heating unit will warm up that water and bring in a little bit of steam into the room, and that can help. So, because, by opening up the sinuses, then you allow things to be released. Also, too, before you go to bed, take a hot shower, take a hot bath, things like that. Be in some steam just to let things open up and to let things drain. And also too, you can try using a neti pot, using a neti pot, which is filling a pot with water and clearing out the nasal passages. That can help as well. And even drinking some hot tea with some ginger in it, that too, or some lemon, eating fresh lemon, that too clears up the mucus. So there's certain things you can do, and for anyone that is sleeping next to someone that's snoring, what do you do? Try these things out. And I also suggest, whenever someone snores, you give them a little nudge. You don't necessarily need to wake them up, but a lot of times when people are sleeping on their backs, that's usually when they're going to snore. So it's trying to get people that are snoring to move over to their side or to sleep on their stomach. Also, I know someone that had once had an idea as an invention to actually sew on tennis balls onto the back of someone's t-shirt, that when if someone's like a chronic snorer and they snore because they're sleeping on their back, you can put something on their sew like a tennis ball onto their t-shirt, onto the back of it, so that whenever they're about to roll over onto their back, it's uncomfortable. So they end up sleeping on their side and sleeping on their stomach, and then over time they get used to it. So that's something you can do, and then it doesn't really disrupt anyone. So those are some suggestions, and the main thing is really just try first with the experiment of taking out the allergenic food, because it can really help, really make a difference. And a lot of times people don't realize just how congested they are, and especially from eating dairy products and wheat products, those things really stuff people up, that once they get off of it, they're like, whoa, I can smell again, I can breathe again, my lungs are not filled up. So it's pretty cool. All right, so I'm wishing you guys a fabulous day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.